You called yourself a clueless white mama who needed help with Haley's hair. Were you worried about any backlash?
I probably should have been, but I really wasn't. We, since adopting Haley, thank you. Since adopting Haley, we've had so many of our African-American friends discuss the importance of styling both just because the hair is different and culturally. So I was just very aware, and I just knew I was missing something. I wasn't getting something right, and I wanted to see what it was.
So you made this post, then Monica, what made you respond to Stephanie's post?
Well, you know, she was another mom that needed help, and we don't have all the answers. I have 3 daughters that have 3 different textures of hair, so I just responded to the post and let her know, you know, different products that she could use. And then she messaged me in Messenger, and we started talking back and forth. And she told me that Haley was 2 years old. And at that time, I was like, wait a minute, you know, she's 2. So it's not like you can just use any kind of product on a 2-year-old. I said, hey, let me come over, let me touch her hair. And we got together and I did her hair. And it was really that simple, just 2 moms getting together because she needed help with Haley's hair.
So let me ask you, Monica and Stephanie, this all went down last November.
That's my format.
No, this is the format.
That's the format.
Yeah, that's what we doing. Yeah. So you all been in touch ever since. How's your friendship grown over the last few months?
Well, I call it, we've had like a social media type of relationship that has evolved, because first it started on a post, then it went to Messenger, then we progressed to texting after everything kind of went viral. And now I definitely consider Stephanie to be a friend, even though it's happened pretty soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, who is this a picture of?
Those are my 5 children and Monica's 3 girls.
And our handsome husband.
And our handsome husband.
Yes.
And Daddy, yeah. And Isaiah, yeah.
That's that.
Yeah, you know them.
So when you posted it, you had no idea.
No, Monica and I had never met before.
I
Somebody-
a bowman.
You know what? That's what I said. I tried to tell you last time. All you doing is saying what I've been saying.
That's a chica.
Yeah. All right now. You ain't nobody don't find on me. You talking about me. You guys are right. Nobody do that to me. Nobody do it to me. You be quiet yourself. You be quiet. I don't want to tell me. Watch this right here. Look at this. Hey, look. Boom. Right there. Can't get that, can you?
God.
Did she just say, oh, God? Now she gonna drag the Lord into this. Hey, well, listen, guys, we want to make sure that you have everything you need to keep Haley's hair healthy and beautiful. So we reached out to our friends at Mael Organics. It's an all-natural hair care and beauty brand that specializes in fresh ingredients for natural hair. Well, they heard about your story, and they wanted to help you out, too. So we're sending you home with a year's supply of hair care products from Mael Organics. That's a really great story. Really great what you did. Good to see people joining together. And let me tell you something. Y'all got some beautiful families up there.
Thank you.
Ladies, thank you so much for being here. And a big hand for Haley. Haley, bye. We got to go.
Say bye.
Okay, cool. We'll be right back. Hey, you made it to the end of this video. I got a lot.
Hey y'all, welcome back. It is Monday the 8th, National Women's Day, so that's a good day as well. And the video we just showed today is part of our topic for part 1. Anyway, I am Chrissy Renee, CEO of the brand Cosmo Diva. I teach braiders and beauty experts how to grow and monetize utilizing social media. And I'm going to pass the mic to Mo, and then we're going to get into the show.
Hey you guys, it's us again here on Monday. You can catch us every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am Monique, the CEO of the brand Be Unique Boutique, where we offer all things beauty. And today we are going to talk about the importance of allowing your kids to have an opinion. And at the end of the day, as parents, it is our responsibility to nurture them, to build their self-confidence up so that they can be successful and be who it is that God called them to be in the world today.
Yes, yes, yes. So that video that we just showed is Steve Harvey having a conversation with two moms who didn't know each other. This is why I love social media so much, y'all, because you can meet some of the dopest people on there. Instead of her judging her because she's a Caucasian woman taking care of a ethnic black girl. She, instead of her judging her, saying you don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't be having her or anything like that, she reached out and said, look, let me help you with her, because her hair texture is totally different than our hair texture. And with her doing that, that will help with that baby's confidence so much, versus just letting the mom figuring it out, because let society say you should stick within your culture so that you can kind of like relate to them. But instead they reached out to each other and networked. They reached out to each other, made, they kids have friends now. They have a friend. The husbands have a new friend. So it's just two families came together for one baby girl to make sure that she had the confidence and the self-esteem that she deserved, because it starts with us as parents. We think that our babies don't have feelings, emotions, they don't matter, when in fact their appearance affect them just like our appearance affect us. So that's what we're talking about today for part one. Part two, we just gonna let it be the little situation that's going on in social media. Y'all know us, we got to come with the braid and beauty tea. So we do want opinions on that. I know parents get weaves in their daughter's hair. What age do you think is appropriate for a child to get a fake weave, like, you know what I'm talking about, like a front, not a frontal, but extensions, not braids, because braids is normal, but weave?
Oh, well, I think it depends, because there are some little girls who suffer, like if they have cancer, or if they are balding, for whatever the illness is within them. So, I mean, I see a young lady, she makes lace fronts for the kids. Now, that's totally different from just allowing your child to wear a wig. But I would say an appropriate age, maybe 11 or 12.
Preteen.
Yeah.
Acrylic.
Oh, my little girl, see,
Not until they like 16.
Yeah, not until they're like 16. I mean, and then this day and age, we have 11-year-olds looking like they're 18-year-old, and it's not okay. It's with everything that's going on in the world with sex trafficking. And I just think these days and time, a lot of parents have we're lost in allowing the child to be a child. We want them to grow up so fast, and it's like, no, we have to let kids learn to be kids.
Absolutely.
We don't have to rush the process.
I think too, I think parents confuse it. Like, parents kind of like pick and choose, like, oh, I don't want my daughter to have grown hair. I don't want her to have weave in her hair or acrylic on her nails. However, those same babies will be at home taking care of their siblings. Yes. Those same babies got to get up and cook breakfast for their brother, their sister, make their brother and sister bed, change their brother and sister's diaper. So it's like you're sending mixed signals to kids saying, I want you to be a kid. No, you can't have acrylic. Well, why not? I'm changing Pampers. No, you can't have weave in your hair.
I'm preparing dinner.
Right. I'm preparing dinner for daddy and all that kind of stuff. Why can't I have weave in my hair and nails like you do? I'm doing what you do as mommy. Why I can't look how you look?
And it's totally different from saying, you know what, you have chores for the week, versus I'm a young girl and I run my household. Pretty much I am the head of the household. Only thing I don't do is pay bills because I don't have a job. So a lot of parents I just feel like a lot of parents, they don't allow kids to express themselves, and kids should be allowed to speak their truth, whether we as parents like it or not. No one should have to hold those emotions in. That's why we have grown men and grown women who it's hard to communicate. It's hard for us to express ourselves to our partner. Like, no one wants to deal with a closed-minded man, a man who shuts down and does not want to express himself. And the same goes for a man dealing with a woman that does that.
Absolutely. Malik said age-appropriate styles. I agree. And I feel like the age needs to match what the parents require. Us as parents, we kind of set the tone for our kids. We give them the confidence. We give them the self-esteem. Well, we teach them. We teach them confidence. We teach them self-esteem. So if your daughter cannot have acrylic at a certain age, you as the parent communicate that. Like, look, babe, you're young. When you get older, you will understand why and why not you can and cannot have acrylic. First of all, your nail beds, like, explain it to them in an appropriate way. It's not even about I'm grown, you're not. It's about your nail beds is not even developed enough to put that acrylic on your nails right now. You will strip it. It's bad for your fingers right now. Wait until you fully develop. A lot of parents don't educate themselves. We so busy trying to control how our kids move and talk versus actually communicating with them on the difference between adults and being a child. However, if you're not going to allow your kid to dress like an adult, you also need to stop treating them like an adult. They are teenagers. The line I hate the most, dislike the most is, "This my house, I pay bills." What? These bills was here before you had me. Like,
right.
Things like that parents truly don't understand, that has nothing to do with your child.
Nothing.
If you're absolutely nothing, communicate with your kids, explain things to them. Like, parents really think they don't have to explain nothing to your child. Why do y'all think they grow up as adults with no ability to make decisions for themselves? They grow up as an adult thinking that society world is how they supposed to live. They don't know how to make decisions for themselves. They don't know how to they don't know how to not be indecisive, because as parents, we don't teach them, like, no, babe, you can't do this because A, B, C, and D. We'll say, no, you can't do it because I said so. So now when they get older and someone comes to them and be like, well, I don't want to take you, or I want you to do this because I said so. See what I'm saying? Y'all think because they become adults, what you taught them goes out the window. So we have to teach them confidence and self-esteem, because it's super, super important for our babies to have that. That's why we have bullies. That's why our babies are scared to tell us that someone's mistreating them, or let's just go deep, somebody's touching them, because we're not talking to our babies. The reason why it was a lot of touching back in the day is because parents took away our voice. We're not even allowed to talk back. You better not say Uncle Timmy touched you. Like, why I don't care if he my uncle, why I can't tell you that somebody's harming me? So we have to give our babies their voice. We have to listen to them when they say, Mommy, I don't like my hair, I feel ugly. Why my hair not straight like hers? You have to sit down and have that conversation with her and teach her to be secure within herself. Same thing with boys. So I think it's super important, especially being a hairstylist. You guys do not know how many girls that I meet or talk to that struggle with self-esteem because their parents do not talk to them. Their parents dismiss them and think getting their hair done. Okay, you get their hair done, right? Mm-hmm. You get their hair done. However, that baby's still struggling with something. That baby's still going on with something. So
and
what
kids
a lot
get stressed out too.
Yeah, we think that they don't, but they actually got more stress on themselves than we think, because they can't control a lot of their lives. They have to ask for money. They have to ask permission for a lot of things. They have to know when to say and how to say things. Like, it's so much more that they have to kind of analyze, and that's our job, is to kind of guide them through that, to support them in things that they have to say. Those babies go through a lot, you guys, and we hear it when they're in our chairs. So parents, I want you guys to really understand, like, how important it is to know your child. Know your child, have compassion, and getting your hair done and throwing Jordans on your babies and giving them whatever they ask for is still not you having that intimate time with your child. We, as stylists, we see a lot. You get kids in the chair that would holler and scream and kick and scream because they have social anxiety, because y'all parents don't let them play with nobody. These babies get in these chairs and they're screaming, they're crying, they scared to touch people, they're scared to look at us. Like, your baby should not have social anxiety. Like, it's mind blowing. They're 4 years old screaming because they don't know what a stranger look like or what people look like or what being around other people feel like, because you shelter your kids. You don't take them to the park. They don't have playmates. So then you want to bring them to a stylist once a year on their birthday, expecting them to act right. You can piggyback, Mo.
Yeah, and I think that it's very important to not only to allow your kids to speak their truth, pay attention to who your kids are around and who you're leaving them around, because everyone is not you. And so if you ever, just for an example, if you ever been around a child and you say, wow, I can see like they're one way around their mother, but then when they get around their father, it's totally different. Kids, sometimes they can't express themselves. So when they're crying, it's not always, oh, I'm just a mama's boy, I want to stay with mom. Some other things are going on. And we have to pay attention to that. I feel like we sweep that under the rug a lot, because it's like, oh, that's his grandfather, or oh, that's his father. They won't do anything to hurt them. You do not know another person's mental health. And guess what? If it's their first time raising a child or grandchild, nephew, if that's something they've never done, sometimes they need help, and they don't even know that they need help. So they're gonna raise that child to what they feel like it should be.
Malik said the difference is home duties are about responsibilities. Well, Malik, we're not talking about the basic clean up after yourself. We're talking about, if you've been around those type of parents, or you've been that type of kid. Like, I'm the oldest of 10. I'm the oldest. I really do not know what it's genuinely like to sit somewhere and just be a 10-year-old. When I was 10, I was helping my brother helping my mom cook in the kitchen and do all that. I didn't want to do that. I didn't care about cooking. I just wanted to write and read. That's all I was good at. I wanted to write and read. I wanted to sit in my room and just educate myself. My mom didn't listen to that. She didn't want to hear that. I wanted to do sports. She like, no, you're going to learn how to cook and clean in this kitchen. I don't want to do that. You're taking away your kid's voice when you're forcing them to do something that they take no interest in. I still don't take interest. I cook because I have to. I have kids. However, I'm a digital baby. Now they got an air fryer. I'm finna get 2 more because I don't want to turn on my stove.
Excuse me.
Why that cannot be, my daughter, she loves to cook. And I'm like, ooh, honey, I'm going to have to hire you a chef because, honey, your mama do not like baking and stuff. But I will have to sacrifice that to get in that kitchen with her and do something that she loves to do. I have a kid who don't care to be in the kitchen. I don't force my kids to do something that they don't want to do just because I think my perception of being a responsible adult is cooking and cleaning and slaving every day, all day. No, they still have to enjoy themselves as kids. I couldn't talk on the phone until the weekend. I couldn't watch TV until the weekend. Do y'all know how it felt to go to school and hear everybody at school talk about the TV show that happened the other day? And I'm like, what are they talking about? I'm an adult right now, and people say, have you seen this, and that? And I'll be like, what is that? I feel like that was taken from me. I'm like, so what did I experience as a kid? Because why don't I know all this stuff? Because I had parents who thought it was more important for me to cook, clean, and learn how to be a wife at an early age than it was for me to enjoy my childhood. And that didn't sit well with me, because now I'm an adult who struggle with boundaries. I'm an adult who kind of be like, okay, I'll do it even though I don't want to. That's what that taught me. That taught me that, okay, this is what people want. This is what you have to give them versus I don't want to do that. Well, I'm better at it now, y'all. I'm not as bad as I was. But that's what happens when parents take away the kid's voice. Like, I'm even learning, like, if your kid don't like broccoli, why the heck you gonna force them to eat broccoli? Do y'all know how traumatizing that is? Like, they don't like broccoli. But some parents think that it's ridiculous to, okay, this kid like green beans and this kid like peas. Some parents
their favorite line is, if you don't eat it,
then you gonna go hungry.
Exactly.
Like, what?
Like, can you just make what I like to eat and it not be a problem?
Absolutely. That's like, when we adults, we don't go eat at, if you don't like Taco Bell, you gonna drive yourself to Taco Bell because you starving, so eating something is better than nothing? No, you have the opportunity to choose what you like to eat. But we don't practice that in our kids. We force them to eat what we think they should eat because that's what we felt like cooking at the time. And I just don't think it's healthy habits because it creates adults that don't know how to make certain type of decision for themselves, and you low-key take away their voice. You really do. So I just want us to understand how important it is to listen to our babies. I'm not saying let them run your house. That's not what I'm saying, because I know, especially in my culture, we be like, what? Girl, please, that's entitlement. No, entitlement is when your kids don't have consequences for things that they do because they feel like, my mama rich, I don't have to do it. That's a sense of entitlement. However, my daughter don't like playing basketball, but my son do. I'm not gonna force her to do it. Somebody said, can you, Lord Jesus, talking about, can you rap? What is they talking about? Get off this live. Sorry, y'all. So that is all we're saying, you guys. And we're saying this to say, we're going to lead into something else. The reason why we say that, because it mess with the mental, it mess with your, the understanding, like what you call that? Your comprehension, your, it messes with accountability. What else it messes with? It messes with so much when you take that from a child, because now they're adults. Look at social media. Social media is going to chew those type of people alive. Eat them up and spit them out because they're not ready for it. We took their voice. So all they're doing is looking at other people and like, oh, my friend doing this, so I want to do it now. They don't have an identity, because you took it from them when you said, no, I want you to eat those peas even though you don't like them. Okay, so.
And parents don't be so hard on yourself.
Yes.
At the end of the day, life does not come with a manual. We learn based off. How can we give our child something that was never given to us if we don't know what that is? I mean, all we can do is say, you know what? The older we grow, we can say, you know what? Okay, my mom did this with me. I'm not going to do that with my child. But it's a learning process. Just check yourself in the moment and be ready and willing to have an open ear when your child do want to talk to you, and don't be so dismissive about everything, because that shuts them down. That makes them they'll be so intimidated by so much and so many things, and they don't have to be, when all you have to do is make your child comfortable enough to. My son is comfortable enough to talk to me about anything. It wasn't always that way, but again, it's about me checking myself and saying, you know what, I am wrong, whether I'm the adult or not. You got to hear your kids out.
Absolutely. Lauren says she's so glad that her mom didn't make her eat what I didn't want to eat, because it strips you. Like, whether we believe it or not, it strips you of your voice, the littlest things. If I say I don't want it and you say, well, you're going to eat it anyway, it's like, wow, so my voice just don't matter. What I want just don't matter. So again, like she said, it don't come with a manual. However, we can educate ourselves. We can literally talk to our kids. You're not going to know anything if you do not talk to your babies, if you dismiss them. Yeah. Like, it's mind blowing on like the suicide rate that's happened over quarantine with kids. It's higher than adults.
Yeah. Like,
it's higher than adults because we as adults say, well, you ain't got no problems, you ain't got no bills. What does bills is what? Like,
what about kids bullying me at school?
Or
and then
I
come
feel
home
fat,
to you,
or I feel ugly,
and then I come home to you and you're not reassuring me that I am not that. So all I have to do, I have to come home and listen to you yell at me. Then I got to go back to school and listen to the kids pick on me. Like, it's too much. And kids get stressed out. Kids get stressed out too.
Listen to your babies, y'all. Listen to your babies. I know our second half, we're going to talk about the trending thing that's going on social media, but it still touches on our topic. And this is what happens when these babies with no voices, no confidence, no self-esteem, no sense of accountability, nothing to look forward to but the bare minimum, these are the type of things that happen. And then the world will end up talking about them, sabotaging them, trying to figure out where their mental space is, like what made you think that was smart, things like that, because we raised them to feel like you don't have a voice. Like, it's either you do this, you settle for the bare minimum, or you don't. We are going to take a little break, give y'all a little song real quick. In about 5 minutes, we're going to take a break. But however, I do want to piggyback off of the video really quick that we did. I really want people to start reaching out to each other. Like back in the day, there's no big mamas.
There
Like
isn't.
where you could take your kid to the granny house and grandma got you. So I understand in this day and age, we don't have the support that they had back then. Like the support is not the same.
It really takes a village.
It takes a
does.
village. But I think people have adapted the mindset of nobody told you to have kids. We were born to reproduce. That's what we have a uterus for. You know, like we were born. That's why this stuff is here. So being a parent is amazing. It's super dope. But I want us to kind of look at that as it's a blessing to have kids. It's an honor to be that you were chosen to be responsible for another human being. And I think if we look at that differently, we'll honor our kids in a different way versus, oh my God, now I got to feed you. Now I got to clothe you. Now I got to go to work because I got to feed you. You ain't going to work because of that baby. You going to
Right.
work because you grown and you got bills. You got things to do because if that baby wasn't here, you would still have to do it. So if we take away holding them accountable for things that we got to do regardless, we'll have a different relationship with our kids. And I think that's the issue. Parents want to give all the responsibilities to the kid. Be like, well, I'm doing this because I got to, you here. I'm only 4, bro. What was you doing before you had me? Like, you got to really think about it like that, y'all. We be putting too much on our babies that they can handle. So I'm going to go ahead and let Monique have an opinion, and then we're going to go ahead and drop a song.
Again, I think that is very important, ladies and gentlemen, fathers too. When your son want to come and talk to you about something, make sure you are speaking life into that child. Make sure you are building him up and not tearing him down. Make sure you are feeding him nothing but good knowledge and things that are going to help him in his future, and no BS, because you just have to be very careful who you have kids with, for one, because again, it definitely takes a village, and it's a learning process. It's a growing process. You never stop growing. You never stop learning. My son teach me so much. I learned so much from him, and it has not always been that way. I used to be really aggressive, and I feel like God chose me to be his mother to give me the patience that I needed. I didn't always have the patience that I have right now. So just don't be so hard on yourself, ladies and gentlemen, and just take it easy. And just at the end of the day, relationships with your daughter, your kids, your sister, your mother, at the end of the day, it's all about understanding one another. We don't have to always agree, but as long as we respect each other's opinion, that's what matters most. And we're going to go on a quick little break.
Superstar paparazzi start flocking. As the beat starts knocking, shorty hit the dance floor, ass start dropping. She's truly independent. She's grinding and she's winning. The other girls pretending, not stopping till she finished. She ain't got no man unless you got them. Bands, girl. Why these hoes be hating? The drama they're creating, but it ain't even phasing you, 'cause you're amazing. Taking the thighs and that ass so fast, so fast. When you get attention, nobody don't say nothing. They're jealous, jealous. Them hoes so jealous. They be jealous. She like the room when she enters. Every She wants attention, she is the center. Fellas double take when they see her. Watch her transform as the beat hits the speaker. Shawty ain't no average chick. Unless you coming with those bands, no, she's not having it. No. She ain't got no man. Unless you got them bands, no. Why these hoes be hating? The drama they're creating, it ain't even phasing you, 'cause you're amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so fast. When you get attention, oh, you're jealous. These hoes so jealous, yeah. I know you see them hoes barking over there, 'cause everybody in the club stopping stare. Them thick thighs in the ass Ric Flair. Please remind them as you walking over here. Just pop it and lock it, then drop it, don't stop it. You the hot topic, they know you got options. They jealous, it's toxic, they harmless, no caution. Just do it, don't do it, do it. Clap for me, mommy, clap, clap for me, mommy. Make it boom back for me, mommy. Frame on time, hourglass type of body with an apple bottom. She don't need jeans for it, only shake what your mama gave you. Shake, take it all, money make good. Take, look at they faces, the wrinkles, they stressing, rebellious, no, they jealous. But it's so mad, though. Got it like that. Yeah. When you get attention. These hoes is so jealous. They be jealous. They be jealous. These hoes so jealous.
Who jealous? What he talking about? Look. Hey y'all, we back. So we had our second half. I was super excited to talk about that because I'm a mommy of 3, so I am a huge advocate of babies having a voice because, listen, my 4-year-old daughter, she's just awesome with speaking her mind, and my boys are kind of like shut out, but I teach them that it's okay to speak. Now, let's talk about this braid tee. I don't know if y'all, Braid and Beauty, I keep saying braid because I'm a braider, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't know if anyone's seen it. I'm sure Lauren has the video.
Lauren brought it to my attention.
She did. These girls went to Atlanta, rented a U-Haul, and drove to Atlanta for what is it? All-Star Weekend, right? This is kind of our topic, what we mean confidence, self-esteem, standards, things like that. And they were all lit in the back of the U-Haul. And we just had questions. We like, what possessed y'all to do that? Like, what's happening? Like, the values and the morals of other people is just like, so now people have opinions about it and they're like, oh, you guys are haters. No, we trying to make it make sense. Like, what possessed you to rent a U-Haul and drive to Atlanta and just turn up for the whole weekend? So now I guess somebody wants to pay them $500 a table to travel back to Atlanta, and I'm like, well, babe, what about y'all room and board? What about y'all gas? What about y'all food? What about, so they gonna pay for y'all to have a table, they'll pay for your flight, they did not mention your food, room and board. No, like, but that's like, oh, that's a lot of money, I'm geeked. Huh? $500? See what I'm saying, you guys? We gotta teach. I don't want my daughter growing up like that. I don't want my daughter thinking like renting a $20 U-Haul going to Atlanta is so important for her because she wants to be seen, she wants to be heard, she wants to be with, it's called clout, right? Clout, yeah, she wants to be a part of the clout, and she just like, oh yeah, let's go rent a U-Haul, let's turn up. I'd rather do that than to do this. I don't want my baby feeling like that's all she's worth. Like, no ma'am, if you ain't got it, don't go.
Lauren said U-Haul ain't cheap, a cheap trip. It's like 17 cents per mile, right, Lauren?
That's what she said.
How many miles is it to get to Atlanta from Vegas?
But when you turn that in, but look how she said U-Haul ain't it. Exactly, but it's cheap when you first rent it though, y'all. When y'all first get it, they'll be like, how many miles you traveling? Now y'all know, if y'all saw the video, they ain't tell U-Haul they was going to Atlanta. Y'all know They did not tell U-Haul they was going to Atlanta. They probably said, we just gonna move a couple things. Yeah, all right, a couple bottles and a couple people. They was so turned up back there, and I was trying to make
At least
it
$1,000.
so when they turn that U-Haul back in, they're not going to care about the credit, because those type of people don't typically move like we do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just turn up. They just have a good time. And unfortunately,
I believe they created their own Instagram page.
they got an Instagram. They did a GoFundMe account. And I'm like, okay, can we run a U-Haul? Let's run
At
U-Haul.
this point,
They look cute hopping out that thing. She said they looked cute. She said they looked. I was like, they at a gas station or in the middle of the street. But you guys, I thought it was super funny. But they, like, when you go viral, you guys, I want you guys to really understand what it means to go viral. You do not see a check unless people reach out to you, like contracts or something like that. And that type of stuff takes a long time, right? So people want to go viral so bad that they'll do anything. But when that clapback come, they not ready for it, because why? Their self-esteem and their confidence is not where it needs to be. I tell people all the time, you're not about this life. Like, going viral takes tough skin. Dealing with people, comments,
because
and
everybody
opinions.
is gonna have an opinion, good or bad.
Yeah, and I'm one of them, because I'm a marketing guru. So you go viral, and you go viral on something like that. Oh, baby, I'm coming. I'm gonna have something to say, because that's the game.
I
That's
had
the
no
game.
idea they were from Vegas. Like, Lauren brought it to my attention. She was like, "Did you hear about the
They
girl?"
not from Vegas. They just moved here.
It says from Las Vegas and lives in.
They just moved here.
Oh, okay. Well, either way it goes, they had a good time in Atlanta for All-Star Weekend. They turned up with some ballers. Please. Yes.
They turned up with some ballers, did they?
Girl, I don't know. I'm being funny. They were in the back of the U-Haul. It's a video. They were pouring up, doing everything.
I
girl.
agree with Lauren. Like, make sense of this financially. Like, not a good that. It's just so much that comes from that, and it's just like, wow. And people are sharing it like, get your bag, turn up. What bag? What? $500? I got 3 kids. That's groceries. That is
Yeah.
groceries for my house. So I'm like, $500. Like, there's like, you're judging other people's success. That's success. You know
That's
what?
my flight round trip.
Because somebody was like, where y'all getting these cheap tickets from? When you rent a $20 U-Haul, you saving for that trip. He laughing at it. Oh, we got a phone call. Uh-oh.
Hey, caller.
Oh, look at she ready.
Already. They about to go in on us, Chrissy.
They gonna get us. Look. I'm taking a trip in a U-Haul, y'all. I hope y'all ready. We going to Florida.
Lauren.
6 Flags. And we gonna sleep back there too, because we ain't got no money for room and board. I'm letting y'all know that right now. It's all a part of the game. It's social media. Hey, caller.
Monday.
Hey, so you know I always got something to say. This Kirk.
Oh, hey, Kirk. I was gonna say it was Kirk, but I didn't want
Y'all
to.
should know my voice.
I was going to say, sure.
So, I want to make sure I'm still on topic. Talking about the young generation
Yes.
that takes these ideas to take rides and go turn up in other places. I think what is missing, and Chrissy, you hit on it, it's the way we raise our children, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh.
Those values are so strong, especially at the young age, because what we pour in is what we develop. It's just like a rose.
Absolutely.
If I get some seeds and I'm feeding it good water and keeping those nutrients in there, it's going to bloom into a beautiful rose. That's the way I look at parenting. No, not to say I was perfect. I was nowhere near perfect, but based on what other people say and what they saw in the classes I've taught about parenting and stuff, that the information is out there for us to be, because we only know what we were taught pretty much. And then either we're going to repeat that or we're going to tone it up to make it either better or something like that.
Yes.
That's the way I look at
Absolutely.
it. Unfortunately, I'm a little older school than y'all, so I kind of did the same thing that my mom did to me a little bit,
And that's
it worked.
okay.
Yeah, but then I learned, because the internet will tell you anything. When we become parents, we don't get a tech manual that says these are the right things you need to do.
Right.
And these are the right things, how you need to say things. But through my journey of becoming a parent, or being a parent, working with Nevada Parent Teachers Association for 6 to 8 years, and just going out on the internet to like fathers.com and eMoms and all these iMoms, or different sites that people can get really great information and get emails. It might not fit you, but if you got it, at least you can put it in the background so you can set some stringent values. Even though our kids, like all of us, can still make choices, but they'll make better choices when they get that feeling in their stomach and they're about to do something wrong, and they have to understand what that is.
Absolutely.
So I agree. The parenting today, because of the field that I currently work in, I see how it's really not working in a lot of areas. What y'all think about that?
Ooh, I agree. Ooh, child. Look, like I think we need that balance of our big mamas and the new generation. Like, we're lacking the like you said, the morals, the values, the respect, the boundaries, and even down to a simple. I don't let if my boys don't want to hug you, I'm not forcing my kids to hug you, because that's a boundary to me. So I think like that healthy boundary of teaching your kids, this is who you are, that's okay, believe in that, and have the self-esteem to love who you are. It's lacked. It's not there anymore. Even though our ancestors tried the best way they could, one thing I can say is my mom always taught me, like, to honor my body, my soul, and I don't have to just do whatever my friends do, because everybody don't make good decisions. So I definitely think that that's needed in this generation. I think we just let our kids just do whatever, that we're not even present. So it's like you had the overbearing parents. Now you got the parents who just be like, oh, I don't know what my kid do, I can't tell you.
Exactly. And that's the part, are we present? I know we busy. We live in Las Vegas. It's a 24-hour city, but I work with these youth every day. And, I can't go into somebody's house and say, well, your parenting is the reason why your kids are getting in trouble and all that. I can't say that, because I can't judge. I don't have that autonomy in my job, but I do offer wraparound services like, hey, I'll go to a parenting class if you think you need to get caught up on this new wave of parenting. I'll position it a way to make them think. If they say yeah, then we do it. If they say no, okay. Because at the end of the day, when I teach their kids the other values and life skills and take them back home, they still back in that same environment.
Exactly.
I only get them for 120 days, 6 months at the most. And it takes up to 9 to 11 months to change behaviors in a teenager, most of the time, psychologists say.
Right.
But we try to do it in 4 to 6 months. And we've had success. I mean, I have great success, but I've had some failures too, because sometimes they just make that choice and go back out in them streets.
Yeah, too far gone.
Yep, and that just goes back to what we said earlier. At the end of the day, it starts from home. Because, Kirk, you can do all that you're supposed to do on your end, but once you send them back home, again, they are back in that same environment. So if mom or dad isn't setting those boundaries or just checking in on the kids, making sure the kids are good, what difference does it make? I mean, it does make a difference that you are playing your part, but we need balance.
Unity.
Right.
Absolutely agree.
And something else I see, and don't y'all beat me up for saying this, but I see more parents trying to be friends instead of parents.
Oh my God.
My mom, I respected her. She was not my friend.
But
I was scared because I knew what was coming, but it was out of respect.
Absolutely.
Because that's what I was taught. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, there is no such thing, because I say this a lot of times I used to say this to my ex-husband. You got to stop trying to put fear in them and just make sure they respect you. There's a difference in, like, your kids, like, they don't fear their dad, they don't dislike their dad, but there's no respect on their dad's end. So I asked my son, like, what's going on with that? He just be like, Mommy, I don't understand that do as I say. However, if you tell me to clean up my room, but your room look like that. My son's 11.
Hello.
And he like, I don't get it.
Hello.
You tell me to wash the dishes, but you will leave a dish on the sink. And I'm just like, and I'm not like that in my household. I'm a very much so of, if I'm not doing it, I can't expect my kids to do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of these parents is not, like our parents used to clean like slaves back, like they would clean. So I will say, if they say, get up and clean my house, oh, you getting up because your mama just got done cleaning her whole room, bathroom, and cooking for your daddy. These people nowadays, it's more so of clean up and do what I say. Your kids are not slaves. If you're not doing it, why would they? So it's just so much of that. Oh, well, that's they let them cuss, but yeah, you're not teaching them like to the responsibility. So like you said, they're friends with their kids. They're not parents with their kids, and that's a whole different ball game. Because my kids, we can't be friends. I talk to my friends totally different than my kids. It's a totally different relationship. You can't even talk to your kids how you talk to their other parent, because that's a whole different relationship that you have with that adult than you have with your kids. And I don't think people separate that. I do, because it's a totally different relationship. But I learned that going to therapy again, retraining my cognitive behavior, how I think, understanding perception and things like that. So therapy, reading, and all that helped me with that, to understand like my kids' relationship is totally different than what I have with their father. And I treat it as such. So I agree.
That's cool. Okay, ladies, I'm not going to take y'all's thunder because you know I could talk forever.
I know, we love it. We got to come to your show one day.
Yes, we
do. Y'all, we'll out. I don't have you guys' number, but I hit you on Facebook and we'll set up something.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, ladies. Have a blessed day. Y'all might want to catch my show tonight. It's going to be off the hook.
What time is it?
7.
It's at 8.
8, okay.
We'd rather be early than late.
That's it.
Thank Kirk.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks.
What time? Okay, 10 more minutes. Yes, that was great. That was excellent, you guys. But that's what, man, listen. We in a world where anybody can get their hands on your kids. I'm not even going to like people say, oh, it's easier because now I don't have to have my kids around people. You have social media that's influencing your kids more now than if you took them to their cousin house and you're able to see that the cousin cusses, but your kid don't. So you're able to walk up and be like, look, my baby don't do that, so don't do that. However, they'll be on TikTok and they'll see kids doing things that they're not used to seeing, and you're not there to correct that. You're not there to guide them. You're not there to support them. Even though we can go through our kids' phones, we can watch them on social media, it still does not take away all these distractions that they have on TV now, on social media now. So it's super crucial that we as parents be present. Don't just be there.
Be present and set boundaries on the amount of time that you allow your kids on these social media platforms. It's so much going on with social media these days, and your child can be talking to a whole grown person and you think it's their friend that's the same age as them, and it's really a predator. But if you're not actively involved and you're not checking up on that, then you won't know.
And they can't. And if you're not teaching your kids to make good decisions for themselves, like my son asked me one day, "Mommy, are you gonna marry a girl?" I said, "Huh?" I was thrown off, y'all. I was like, "What?" He was like, "Well, because." You know, my aunties are with girls, and all on the social media, I see a lot of people with girls. And at school, I be seeing girls kiss girls. So I'm just like, is that why you and my dad didn't work? Because you're gonna be dating girls? I'm like, no, baby. Mom, you will not see mommy with a girl. You know, mommy is gonna wait on her to get married again. Things like that. My son was like, Mommy, I don't think it's healthy. Do you think whatever works for you, son? Do you think it feels right for? That's to happen? No, Mommy, I don't think it's right, but it's their choice. Then let it be that. So I walk my kids through something that they see, like that's out of the norm for them, or they're just curious about it. I don't tell them, oh, you too young, you don't need to know. If they ask me, you have to sit down and have that conversation, because if you don't have it with them, somebody else will. So you have to have that conversation with your kids. We got to stop being afraid of that.
Yep, we have to stop being afraid of that and just... Again, be aware of who your kids are around. People are manipulators. And if you are not there to to provide that reassurance that your kids need, they will go looking for it from total complete strangers who really mean them no good.
Right. Kirk said that's what like they gonna change Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head is Mr. Potato Head. Talking about he ain't no gender no more. He's gender neutral. Huh? Mr. Potato Head is Mr. Potato Head and Mrs. Potato Head is Mrs. Potato Head. Like they put the mustache and the lipstick on them. Now they want to change it. So yes, social media is pushing that, and y'all have to be over y'all babies. Y'all have to be over them. In tune, family time, dinner time, game nights, things like that. Like start normalizing family oriented lifestyles again, like it used to be. Sit at the dinner tables, have conversation with your kids. If you take your kids to the beauty shop, sit there for like an hour and see how they feel. If they're comfortable, like, you want me to leave you good, or stay there the whole time. However, check in with your kids. Please check in with your babies. Next week, y'all, we talking about finances, right?
Yes, we have a special guest coming on next week who will discuss the importance of credit, especially when you are a business owner, and how to use your business credit so that you won't have to touch your personal. And just using the bank money to fund your business, to get supplies, to do what it is that you need to do. We have a special guest coming on next week who will go further into details on all of that. So please catch us back here next Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And again, I am your host, Monique Millions, CEO of Be Unique Boutique, where we offer all things beauty. And you can find me on Instagram at B_UNEEK.
Your last name Millions?
No, that's my alter ego.
Oh, girl, I was about to say that's dope. Your mama manifested that before you was born. But I still like it. That's why I'm like, your last name Millions? I am, again, you guys, Cosmo Diva, Chrissy, of course, but the CEO of the brand Cosmo Diva. You can find me at Instagram Cosmo Diva, TikTok Cosmo Diva, just everything Cosmo Diva. And of course, I teach braiders and beauty experts how to elevate, monetize, and grow utilizing social media. And we're gonna be back here next week teaching finances, especially for beauty experts, because y'all know how we is and how we save our little money and spend our money as fast as we get it, some of us. So that will definitely be something that's needed and beneficial for you guys next week. I definitely appreciate everybody for watching, and we are going to catch you guys next week at 1 p.m.
Pacific
same
Standard
day,
Time.
same time.
Chrissy, you didn't know that I created a whole new identity coming to.
Oh, it's like Sasha Fierce.
Yeah.
I'm about to do that too then. Oh, and that's a wrap.
It's so funny because people really think that that's my last name for real.
Good, manifesting millions. Look,
Yep, that's what we're doing.
We talk to you guys next week. We out. Peace.
Potato sugar?
Yes.
Django isn't a slave. Django is a free man, you understand? You can't treat him like any of the other niggas around here, because he ain't like any of the other niggas around here. You got it?
Yearning for your validation. Validation. All in hopes I'm in the conversation. All in hopes. Pour so much of me into you. Can't believe I ain't never feel for me instead of you. I slide in the coupe. I lose the roof. I die for the truth. yourself. What you say? You got God as your help. Just let it go and never dwell. My advice, unless they good to you. My advice, love in the middle. My advice. Tell my young self, yeah, yeah. You should never go and let, yeah, 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 yeah.